Hello?
Hello?
Oh, you have a nice microphone.
Oh, thanks, man.
You are a
It's working, right? Like, it's nice and clear.
It's very nice and clear. Wow, very sexy. I like it.
Wait, what?
No, the mic quality is very good. It's very clean.
Oh, okay.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no, no,
alright,
no, no.
yeah.
Okay, let me quickly sort all of my stuff here. Oh, Jesus, fuck, this game is very loud. 1 second, I need to make the game quieter as well. Sound, sure. Okay, there we go. So, you are... Where are you? You are here. Ooh, you're East Coast. So it's like, what time is it? Like 5 p.m.?
Yeah, it's 5 p.m.
Okay. Here is your file. So you have 120 minutes. Just to quickly mention just a few disclaimers. First, if you... I'm sorry, my brain is like farting right now.
No, you're fine.
Okay, there we go. I recommend you take notes during this session, just because it makes it a little bit easier to kind of, review the session after the fact.
Okay.
Going through the bullet points. After the session, you have 60 minutes left. You can schedule those as 2 30-minute sessions if you want to, because sometimes for follow-ups we don't really need the full hour. So it's better to kind of split it into 2, so you can practice the game a little bit in between sessions. The way that this is going to be structured is, first we're just going to do a little bit of talking, so I can figure out who I am working with here. And then after that, we are going to take a look at gameplay. I hope you have a replay code for me.
Yes, I do. I have multiple.
Can you... okay. And they're recent?
Yes, they are from yesterday.
Perfect. Okay, that should work. Yeah, sometimes people have like really old codes, and then a patch comes out and the codes don't work. And it's...
Yeah, the one I put in my file, it's from like the last patch, so I was like, oh crap, let me go play some comp real quick. And it's a good thing, because I lost 7 games, so... There's a lot to learn.
Well, there we go. Okay, so let me open up the form that you filled out. Okay, perfect. So first question, can you give me a little bit of a TLDR of where you're at, where you want to be, and why you're here?
So right now, I'm at like a spot where I've tried to like branch out and just absorb as much information as I can about the game so I can get better. And it's like I've just hit a complete wall. It's like every effort I put into improving the game, I just cannot escape masters no matter what I do at all. And where I want to be is top 500. I really do want to be like a good, one of those insane top players no matter what. So the only thing like me personally that I know I can improve on is to just keep practicing mechanics, because mechanics, it's simple. It just takes time. But like everything else, I'm just completely lost and I have no idea what else to do. But what was your other question?
So that's where you want to be. Right now, you're in Masters, right?
Yes.
So how far overall do you want to take it? Like you mentioned, you want to be able to, be like a top 500 player, but do you just focus on solo queue or also kind of the tournament esports side of things?
I have been completely solo queue since forever.
Okay.
I was thinking about scrims, but I haven't joined a server yet.
Okay, so you don't really know yet if scrims and esports is something you're interested in.
Yeah, but the reason why is because I feel like at the level I am right now, I don't feel like I'm good enough to even start considering those options yet. That's why, like in my mind, it's like I want to climb and reach the top first, make sure like my skills are in check, and then start to think about what I want to do with it. So like for me, I just wasn't even thinking about any of that yet. I've just been completely focused on I need to figure out how to improve.
Okay, so then what's your motivation then?
Oh, I just love the character Genji in every single way. Like growing up, the types of games that I've played, he just ticks like every single one of the boxes. He's the hardest character in the game. He's hard to learn. He's very mechanically demanding. He requires you to be smart and know what you're doing in order to play him. Not that many people play him, and there's very few, like really, really, really good Genji players up there.
Okay, so you want to be like a Genji one trick?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Difficult, difficult choice.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because obviously sometimes your team comp may be a little bit less Genji friendly. Just so you know. And obviously we can play around that, but it's important just that you understand that to like really flourish as a Genji player, you need certain conditions to be met. And especially in solo queue, people aren't always going to pick around you, which means some games are going to be, you know, a little bit limiting. You have to play a little bit boring, if that makes sense. But okay, no, I get the idea. So then why are you here? Why are you stuck, and why have you come here?
Oh, hello, is the mic working?
You're Mr. Roboto right now.
Oh boy. Let me unplug my mic real quick and plug it back in.
Okay, yes.
Does it still sound like a robot?
Now it's perfect.
Okay, good. Thank God. That would have sucked. So you're asking why like I came here?
Exactly. Why did you think that coaching was the correct step for you?
So like remember how I said I was trying to absorb as much information on the internet as I could?
Mm-hmm.
While in that process, I came across you and I watched some of yours. I specifically went out of my way to go and watch your Genji VODs.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it's like I felt this way with all the information that I consumed from the internet. It's like, okay, they're telling me they're reviewing these people, but it's like, now how do I apply this? Like what do I learn here? What am I doing? And it's like I'm just lost. I don't understand anything that's telling me. I don't know. I don't even know what's really wrong with my gameplay myself. I mean, I can point some obvious things out, but it's just I felt like I needed someone literally who knows the game to just teach me and really point out what's going on.
Okay.
I just felt like coaching was the best thing.
Okay. So you mentioned that you invest quite a significant amount of time into the game, right? Like you said, some weeks you invest up to 50 hours.
Yes.
What do you do? Oh, there's a but? What's the but?
Yeah, but I burn out, and then like the next week it like equalizes, because then the next week I only play for like what 10 hours or something like that. So it isn't not a consistent 50 hours, but it's like that's why I put like 20 to 50.
So do you ever have like off days?
No, at least every day I'll at least play a game or two no matter what, and that's only like what 30 minutes.
Okay. No, that's important, especially from a mechanical standpoint, that you have some form of consistency, that you play each day ideally. Obviously it's not great that you're burning yourself out, because the more consistent your schedule is, the better. But what do you do with that playtime?
So some days, or like recently, like the last month or so, I remember on one of your videos or something, somewhere I heard you say that the best time to play was like 4 hours a day if you were trying to get up there, and that's what was sustainable and a good amount of time to play if you wanted to hit Grandmaster or something like that. So what I literally started doing was, because I wanted my mechanics to be good so bad, I spent 4 hours a day just grinding dash maps, Dragon Blade trainings, like Genji one-shot combos things, and then I would like go and play comp and then come out, and then maybe I'd play quick play with some friends, and it was just like that since a month ago.
So that's your current schedule?
I don't know. I don't have a schedule. Now I've gotten to the point where I'm not climbing at all. I went from Masters 2 and now I'm Masters 3, and now I'm about to get put in Masters 4
what I
I lost so many games.
You said that you spend like a lot of time on practice maps, and that sometimes you play quick play with your friends. Is that in the past, or do you still actively do that?
No, I still do that. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, okay. So why does someone who wants to be the best Genji in North America invest time into quick play with his friends?
I guess that doesn't make any sense.
It kind of doesn't.
Because quick play isn't like quick play is just not. I'm not gonna learn anything from there at all.
Yeah, because usually players like you or who have those kinds of like you're really ambitious, right? Like masters
Yeah.
is already a pretty good rank, right? Like if I met someone
Yep.
in real life and they told me I'm masters at Overwatch, I was like, okay, like he's not a pro player, but you know, like it's his main game. Like he's really invested some time. He's got like he understands how the game works, right? And but when we talk about top 500, that's kind of the area of no compromises, right? Because those people in top 500, they're like really really hungry for competition. Like to them, quick play is a fucking waste of time. It's like so boring. They don't want to play quick play. They just want to, if they could, they would just play ranked for like 10 hours a day, right? They're like mad at God because they have to poop. They would rather play the game. Okay? And you're like, you know, I could play solo queue and shit on some people, or I could play quick play with my friends. And by the way, I'm not, just for clarification, the problem here is not you spending time with your friends. It's you spending time with your friends in the game, in quick play. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
If you want to spend time with your friends, you can play like a different game, you know, but it's important to kind of clearly separate things. So whenever you start Overwatch, it's like, this is my try-hard time. This is where I come online because I want to fuck people up, right? And if you start another game, if you start Valorant or Call of Duty or League of Legends or whatever, that's my I want to fuck around with friends time. It's pretty healthy to kind of separate those two things, because ultimately it just when you play with your friends, you want to use that as like break time from the game, because as you've already discovered, if you invest too much time into the game, you start getting burned out, right? But this is like imagine what do you do for work?
Oh, right now I'm unemployed, but I was working at Lowe's.
Okay, so like what did you do? Like logistics, like stock, like shelves and managing inventory and stuff?
They had me doing a lot of stuff. I worked in the lumber department. We were like stock wood and drive power equipment around and stuff, like a forklift, reach truck.
Okay.
Receive stuff.
There we go. So let's say you do that, right? And it sounds pretty exhausting, right? But you need to fucking provide for people, right? And then your significant other or your best friend or someone, right? And they say, hey, you've been working so much, you deserve to take a break, right? How about we go to fucking Lowe's Expo, where you can drive around shit for fun and fill boxes, you know? Like you want to take a break, and a break is only as effective based on how far it gets you from whatever you're trying to take a break from. Right?
Right.
So this is like celebrating 3 years sober with champagne. Like it kind of defeats the purpose. Like if you want to take a break from the game to kind of, because these mental resets are really important, right? Like pro players, they don't just play Overwatch. Like they need a break as well, right? Like after scrims, sometimes when they stream, like they play other games, you know, for fun. Or they do something else entirely. They go out to dinner or whatever, right? Like they do stuff that kind of distracts them, so that when they return to the game, they're actually looking forward to it. Like maybe you remember when you were in school and a new game came out or something, or you discovered a new game with friends, and like during school you were like all antsy because you just wanted to get home and like play the game, you know? Like you were really, really looking forward to that. But if you're not distancing yourself from the game, no matter how much passion you have for it, eventually your brain is going to just get like tired of it. And we don't really want that because it hurts the quality of our practice. So my personal recommendation is, if you want to treat Overwatch as something that doesn't just like right now you're kind of treating it both as something that gives you fulfillment and also something that you can use to kind of pass the time. But we want it to be more exclusively oriented around fulfillment. And if we just want to have mindless fun, we do something else.
Okay.
So it's like two different shelves in our heads, two different categories. Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, perfect. And then the second thing you spent time on were like the practice maps. You
Yeah.
are in Masters 3.
Yep.
You really don't have to do that anymore. You benefit a lot more from like practical applications, whereas those training modes are like really good to have isolated practice on certain mechanics. You know, like if I was
Yeah.
coaching a silver Genji, right? Then I would send him to those maps so he can familiarize himself with the combos, the animation cancels, the movement mechanics, right? So he can like learn those without getting shot at from 6 directions, right? But you're kind of past that point where you're not really like learning those things because you know how to do those things. You don't hit masters as Genji without knowing how to fucking, you know, do like melee animation cancels. You know, like to you that should be pretty trivial by now.
Yeah.
What you want is like a more practical warm up, and that's what deathmatch is for. So, what I would do is I would take that time that you currently invest into those custom game maps, and replace that with time in deathmatch, or in, you know, just playing more ranked. And the time that you spend playing with friends, replace that with VOD reviewing yourself. And one important disclaimer regarding VOD reviews is that VOD review is just a skill.
Okay.
Right? Like it's something you need to develop. If everyone could VOD review, I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be doing this, right? But obviously, you don't need to learn how to VOD review to the point of being like a pro coach, right? You don't need to be able to analyze like tournament level macro concepts from the perspective of all roles. You just need to learn how to VOD review Genji gameplay, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that's very much doable, and that's a very, very worthwhile skill to have. And a lot of people, they VOD review themselves, and it feels very useless. Like they do it and they can't really, they're kind of stuck. They don't really know what's going wrong. But the secret is pattern recognition. You need to have a large sample size of games that you look at to really, you know, understand what you're looking for, right? So even though it's discouraging at first and it feels like you're wasting your time, just like twice a week, just going over a game. Even if you don't draw any big conclusions, even if you don't have any eureka moments, just having looked at the gameplay is really, really valuable. It's like looking in the mirror every once in a while to make sure there's no spinach stuck between your teeth. It makes sense. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What else do we have in the forum? You said you have tried to improve your mechanics, game sense, spatial awareness, decision-making, problem-solving, and your understanding of the game. So, everything. I asked you, why do you think you're climbing? And you said, I think the issue is that I just don't know how to play Overwatch competitively, and since I don't understand the game, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, which leads to me not being able to improve anymore because I just simply don't know what my mistakes are, how to fix them, and what it's going to take to get myself to top 500. Okay, first of all, you're Masters 3. You understand the game to like some extent. Okay, you're being a little harsh on yourself, I feel like. But okay, well, I guess we can just take a look at the gameplay, and I can get a taste of your understanding.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well,
oh boy.
send
That'd be
it,
funny if you just roasted the shit out of me.
Oh, I'm not going to roast anything. I'm going to teach you how to roast yourself.
Okay.
Okay,
I have a really good game.
Well, send over the code.
Okay, I'm generating it right now. Yeah, this is the game yesterday. I was like, what the? Like, this game had me pissed off. I was like, fuck.
Well,
Every single time I died.
well.
Here it is.
Do you solo queue, by the way? Like in ranked?
Yes, I do solo queue
Very nice. Good.
all the time.
Very good. All right. Can you see the game?
Wait. Let me close this. Yes, I can see.
Okay.
All right, finally, man. I've been waiting for this forever.
This is, I think, the first VOD review on Rainy Busan I have ever done. Oh.
Is there a way for me to increase the quality?
Unless you come to Germany and tell our
yeah.
president to give us better internet, no. What we can do is, are you in my Discord server?
Yes, I am.
Do you see the waiting room voice channel?
Yeah.
Can you join that? Then I'll move you up.
Yep.
Because in here, I have a higher quality. Does that look a little bit better?
Wait, it's loading. Oh, yeah, that's way better, dude. That's perfect.
Okay, 1 second. I can actually... make it even better. 1 second. I need to figure out... Well, give me like 1 minute. I have to figure out where this stuff is. I'm gonna restart my Discord in a second. There it is. Browse, copy, paste, add. All right. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to restart Discord. Okay. Now that should hopefully it should work. Okay. So can you see the game?
Yep, I can see clearly.
Perfect. If the game ever turns into potato quality, I'm very sorry.
It's fine, I'll deal with it.
Difficult country I'm living in. I remember when I was in the States, it was so pleasant. You guys have such good internet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, explain Genji to me. What do you know?
So, I know that as Genji, Dragon Blade is like literally the way they designed Genji is all his power is put into Dragon Blade. So I know that I have to try and get Blade ASAP, and then I can't be dying because if I die, I get my ult before everyone else, and then I'm just like I'm not getting any value at all. And then I know that I can threaten duels with the dash. I can quickly reposition, and really, it's just I have a very simple understanding of Genji when I say it like that. I don't know anything else. That's what I would say.
Okay. So there's basically 3 things we do as Genji. The first one is punish people who are really stupid. So usually people who are out of position and completely alone. And usually people that are very vulnerable. So for example, if the enemy Mercy is like hardcore alone somewhere, she got like stuck on a corner and she split from her team, and you can get an isolated 1v1. Then we can take those fights. We don't really want to take fights against people that are like an actual threat to us. So if you saw the Symmetra somewhere alone, right? While we can technically win a 1v1 against her, a big part of climbing to top 500 is consistency, right? So we want to minimize the amount of low percentage plays that we go for, right? We just want to let the enemy team do stupid shit and then we punish it, right? So that's the first thing we do. We look for people who can't really defend themselves and we fuck them up, usually a support, right? As you climb higher, that isn't really going to happen that much anymore, but you're in Masters, people still sometimes get out of position. We can keep an eye out, we can punish that, right? A big part of that is also cooldown tracking, because some people are a threat while they have cooldowns available, but they're not a threat without cooldowns. So for example, the enemy team has an Ana here, right? Normally, Ana isn't someone that we just want to dive in 1v1 because a good Ana will fuck you up. But if you see that she's used both sleep and nade, like back to back, you can just go. Like there's nothing she can do, right? You're just gonna win that 1v1. Or the enemy soldier, right? Normally a soldier with healing field, if you go in for the 1v1, kind of annoying, you know, like of course you can try to deflect the helix rocket, but it's kind of low percentage. We don't really want to take that risk. But if you see that the soldier is alone on high ground and he just used his healing field, it's hunting season, right? So being reactive, punishing people who waste their cooldowns or who are out of position and can't defend themselves, that's something that we can do. What we'll do the majority of the time is play around opportunities given to us by our teammates. So the core mechanic with Genji is you're the only character in the entire game that has an ability reset, right? Your dash is the only ability in the game that resets upon getting a kill. So we want to abuse the heck out of that by... Normally we need to be very careful about using abilities like our only mobility ability offensively. Because if you play someone like Tracer and you use all 3 of your blinks to like go in, you know, then you can't really get out because you used all of the stuff to go in. But with Genji, we don't really have that problem because if we get the kill, we know we can always get out, right? So that means looking for people who are low HP, for example. If you see that your Echo is throwing her sticky bombs on someone, that's something that we can engage on. So basically looking for opportunities where we don't need to 100 to 0 someone. Genji is really good at having this like nice little burst with his dashing in right click melee, right? That's like a huge chunk of burst. We want to avoid situations where we dash in and then we just spam right click. And it takes ages for us to kill anything. So we really want to look for opportunities where someone is low HP, we can just quickly clean them up, secure the kill, and then get out. Which is why Genji is much easier to play with a dive tank. Because the dive tank basically plays the game for you. He jumps in, you follow up, stuff dies. Right? As Genji, we're really not that good at getting solo kills. You're not like a Tracer who can just 1v1 people, right? You're really good at just cleaning up, right? All of those situations where your teammate lands like a lucky headshot on someone but can't quite confirm the kill, that's your job. To recognize when that happens and to go in and to close out that kill, right? And then the third thing we do as Genji is obviously with Dragon Blade, we want to go and fuck people up. And the biggest mistake people make there is they don't actually think about A, what targets they want to blade, and B, what cooldowns they want to wait for. Because if the enemy Baptiste has like Immortality Field and he uses it, that would be a really good time to blade. You know, if the enemy Ana, if you hear that she used her sleep dart, that would be a good time to use her blade. If you ever see a Roadhog, I don't know who even plays Roadhog anymore, but if you ever see a Roadhog and you see him use his hook, that's when we can go in with blade, right? But it's important that we don't just blade in randomly. Blade is really good as kind of an opportunistic ability where you either follow up on one of your teammates going in or you follow up on one of the enemies wasting a really big cooldown. Does all of that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So in this game, basically the only real opportunity creator that you have is going to be the Echo, right? Baptiste and Mercy are kind of irrelevant. They're not really going to create any opportunities for you. And the Reinhardt is just going to play front to back most of the time. Right? So this game, it's basically you and Echo. So you always want to keep an eye on what this Echo is doing, and you just want to play around her. You don't want to do your own little thing. So where is your Echo right now? She's right behind you. Okay. So right here we can just spam a little bit. See, so this is already not good. Right? Oh shit, this is way too far. 1 second. I need to change this. 1, 2, 3. Right. So right here, your Echo is mercy pocketed, And right now, she is eyeing this Ana. You see that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, this Ana, no one's looking at her, right? Because she's all the way in the back. Right? She's half HP.
Mhm.
She already used her nade. Do you see how vulnerable she is?
Yeah, I could have
Right.
just dashed in there.
So that's an opportunity created by Echo. And remember, Echo is the only one in our team comp that can give us opportunities. Right? Like, no one else here is going to do that. Right?
Yeah.
But instead of looking at what the Echo was doing, you're trying to do your own thing, right? You completely ignore the fact that, you know, she's fucking someone up on the right side, and you decide to dash onto the mercy pocketed soldier who still has this healing field.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense
It
at all.
really doesn't. And we want to only dash in if we know we're going to get that reset, right? Because if you dash in
Okay.
here and you don't get that kill, and spoiler alert, you don't get that kill, you're very vulnerable. And did you see
Yeah.
what happened?
Mhm.
Look what your Baptiste needed to do. He needs to like blow all of his cooldowns because nothing is dying and you guys are just getting kind of shafted a little bit. But yeah. Your Ryan goes for a pin. We try to, again, see, like, you're trying so hard to do like the whole solo carry stuff. You need to spend less time looking at the enemies and more time at people on your team that can do something for you. This game, the moment I left out of spawn, I would just look at the Echo, and I would just spam shurikens and AFK farm my ultimate. And every single time Echo uses her sticky bombs on someone, I would be there and I would dash on the target and confirm the kill. That would be my entire game plan here. And again, in a dive comp, it's great because there you have multiple people that can create opportunities, right? Your DPS can give you opportunities, but maybe you play with the Lucio and you see that he jumps on someone on high ground, you can follow up. Your tank jumps on someone, you can follow up. In this team comp here, the only person you can really play around is the Echo, so that is going to be your best bet. And the Echo has like a one-shot combo. If she lands her stickies and her little laser thingy, she can one-shot someone. As Genji, we can't really do that. We have burst damage, but not quite to that extent. Now, right here, you guys got a kill, which means you have infinite tempo. Like, this is just kind of the cleanup phase. So here it's okay to dash in because, again, you're just... like you dying here really doesn't matter because you're Genji. You're going to be back in like 2 seconds anyways. Right? But yeah, we're getting back, and again, same thing. We just want to figure out where our Echo is, and we just want to look for opportunities. Okay, Echo is shooting stuff over there. Reinhardt is moving as well. Baptiste died. Again, we're just spamming shurikens. But again, look, you're kind of doing your own thing again. And as Genji, it's just really hard to confirm those kills. Right? Do you even know what your Echo is doing right now?
Oh, no idea at all. I don't care about anyone else on my team. I'm literally just focusing on myself. I know I am.
And that makes things so much more difficult, you know? I mean, she didn't do anything like super useful there, you know? But she like she's trying to pressure people. And we're on the other end of the map trying to like see like here, this is a low percentage play. Right here, you're trying to 1v1 a tracer. Why take the 1v1? There's
no thoughts. There's no like what I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just thinking I see a tracer, I'm gonna kill this tracer. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no critical thinking at all.
You have to try to play more precise. Right now, you're just like naturally aggressive. You're looking to pick fights. You're looking to 1v1 people. But I want you to kind of shift your perspective of Genji a little bit, where Genji is not about forcing fights or 1v1ing people like a Tracer, right? It's about you need to be really opportunistic. You need to wait for the right time to strike, either when one of your teammates does something good, like your Echo landing her stickies, or when an enemy does something really stupid, like a Moira fading into your team, right?
Mhm.
Like, the enemy team is going to do something stupid, or your team is going to do something good eventually. One of those two things is going to happen. And you have to be patient and be ready for when those things happen. That should be your mindset, your game plan.
Okay.
And once you have your ultimate, that's when you can be a little bit more proactive. That's when you can kind of take matters into your own hands and start destroying people. Ooh, run going ham. Two people on the right side, but again, see, like, you're not, do you see how you're not on the same page as your team?
Explain.
So right here, your Reinhardt charges in.
Right.
All eyes are going to be on that Reinhardt. And that's something we love as Genji. As Genji, we love it when someone else is drawing all the attention towards themselves. Because it means we can be sneaky little fucks and do whatever we want. And no one... Because is anyone going to look at you after that
No.
pink Reinhardt charges in? No. Right? So there's like a big disconnect because your Reinhardt charges in and look what your Echo does immediately. She doesn't
goes in.
hesitate pressing shift. And again, we want to do whatever this Echo is doing. We want to be with our little slime queen. Okay, your entire team goes in, right? And it's just you and fucking Baptiste.
Yeah.
And he didn't even heal you.
Yeah, that I screamed when that happened. I was like, "Oh,
Right?
right fucking next."
Right, but just imagine.
I got so mad.
Look how. Wait, I need a black screen. Can I get a black screen? There we go. Kinda. There we go. Look how split everyone is, right? You have like the Soldier and the Mercy all the way over there. And you have the Ana, Tracer, Doomfist. Do you see how the enemy team is like in two camps?
Yeah.
Right? And ideally what we want to do... Oh shit, I hate this game sometimes. There we go. Right? What we want to do here is if after the Reinhardt, here the Reinhardt is charging in. Imagine if everyone followed the Reinhardt. Then the Mercy and the Soldier would be over there in Nepal. Just vibing, doing nothing. And you guys could run them down in a 5v3. Do you see how free that would be?
That makes... Yeah, it's starting to make sense now.
But instead, what ends up happening is we have a 3v3 over here and a 2v2 over here. And again, that sounds like a pretty low percentage play to me, doesn't it? And we don't want low percentage plays. We want the easy plays. We want the free wins.
That Baptiste pissed me off though. He had both his cooldowns. I was so mad about that.
Yes, but it does not matter because you took that risk. You put your life into his hands. You could have just followed up on the Reinhardt, right?
Yeah.
And then right here we're 1v3ing people again.
Well, I got rezzed and then my team was getting
you need to get the
my team
hell
got
out
killed,
of there.
so.
If you can make it out of here, that would be big. Oh, you're so dead.
I think I did.
Oh, big chook.
No, I think I did.
Oh, dash. Oh, look at you go. Got your gamer. So now we have played. Right? So what's our game plan now? What are we doing?
So I'm thinking I have Blade now and I'm paying attention. I do know that I'm like when I have Blade, I do look for opportunities to just at least fucking kill one person that I know they're going when I pull out this Blade, they're going to die no matter what. Like if someone used their cooldown or like for example, my mindset for this would be like if I saw the Mercy use Guardian Angel, I would just go after her or like The Ana, same thing with her sleep dart or nade.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually I do kind of understand how to use blade, but you'll see how I use it here when you hit play.
That's good foreshadowing. Nothing bad ever happened after they said, I know how to use blade. But okay, we'll see.
Well, I think it was a good trade. You're the man,
Oh,
so
no, you're
we'll
not.
see what you have to say about it.
Please don't 1v2 them. Oh, you're 1v2ing them. That is...
I almost got her there.
That is a really shit... But again, do you see how low percentage this is?
Wait, explain low percentage and high percentage to me, so that way I
Okay,
understand.
sorry. Yeah, no, of course. So by percentage, we basically mean that every single play has like a chance of working out and a chance of not working out. So a low percentage play is a play that basically only works out if we make no mistakes and the enemy makes some sort of mistake. Right?
Okay.
A high percentage play is one where it only depends on us, usually, right? Where there's nothing really the enemy team can do. So, for example, blading into an Ana who has her sleep dart. That's kind of a low percentage play, because not only are we not allowed to fuck up our blade, right? But there's also a chance that she hits her sleep dart. But blading an Ana who just used her sleep dart and her nade, that's a high percentage play, because if we play correctly, there is nothing the Ana can do. Literally nothing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So a high percentage play is a play where if we play perfectly, it's a guaranteed success. Whereas a low percentage play is a play where even if we play perfectly, the enemy can still do something to screw us over.
Okay.
And we want to go for those free plays, those high percentage guaranteed kills first. And only if that doesn't work, because sometimes you're going to get into a game where it's going to feel a little lopsided, right? Matchmaking isn't perfect. Some games are going to be harder than others. And in those games, that's when we need to get progressively more desperate and progressively more willing to go for low percentage plays. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So right here, taking this 1v2 is considered a low percentage play because A, you're lacking information, right? You don't know who's around that corner.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know if he has cooldowns either. I just went...
If he uses his healing field and is pocketed by the Mercy,
I can't kill him.
It's gonna take you a pretty long time to whittle him down, right? In this case, that didn't happen, right? Because I don't know why actually. Why didn't he? So two things went wrong here. So the first thing that went wrong is that he just didn't use his healing field, and that the Mercy took like 10 ages to fucking go to healing, right? So that was like kind of a fuck up on their part. And even though they fucked up,
I still die.
You also kind of fuck up because you don't manage to get the follow-up kill on the Mercy, right? Like that slash wasn't allowed to miss. If you would have also killed the Mercy and then went out alive, right? Like that's the problem. It's just very low percent. There's so much stuff that can go wrong here, and it doesn't have to be that way, right? We could have made this play better by going for the Mercy first, right? If you would have gone for the Mercy first instead of the Soldier, that would have made this play higher percentage. There's less that could have gone wrong there because Mercy can't heal herself, right?
Yeah.
Or the highest percentage play would have been to just wait for a better opportunity, right? Like this Ana over here, do you see how isolated she is?
Oh my, yeah.
Right? Do you see how her nade is on cooldown?
Yep.
Now that's high percentage to me. Like, yes, theoretically she can sleep you, but it's pretty difficult, right? And
yeah, I could have just deflected
you needed to have a little bit more faith that you're going to get an opportunity. Right there, it felt a little forced. You just kind of took the first opportunity you could get. And that's how
that
people,
was kind of my mindset.
that's how people get divorced at 22. You know, like take your time.
Yeah. After watching like people like Necro, Survival Review, and all that stuff, they're like, be aggressive, you know, like go do this, go all your trash.
Be
and
aggressive, right? But when they say aggressive, I don't like the term aggressive, because I think the term aggressive has like, when I hear the word aggressive, I think of like a drunk person in a bar looking for a fight, right? That's like
Right.
aggression to me. I think of it as being proactive and capitalizing on other people's stupidity, right? When your time to strike comes, don't hesitate. That's what they mean by aggressive. It doesn't mean just speed running the game, trying to
Okay.
get shit done fast. It means when the time comes, recognize it fast and capitalize on it fast. That's what it means to be aggressive, right? Like smart aggressive, not drunken aggressive. Right here again, going for the 1v2, kind of a low percentage play. The highest percentage play there is to just regroup with your team, because now you're staggering. If you die here, that would be bad. Okay, your team bails you out.
Yeah.
Never mind. See, this is... Oh.
No, never mind.
See, low percentage. This gameplay is lacking consistency. That's what's keeping you from climbing. Like, you have your moments, right? You're confident, you have the mechanics, but just because we can do something, even when it's difficult, that doesn't mean we should, like, force it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your Echo is doing stuff. Okay, see, so right here, for example, the moment, like, you go for the dash on the Tracer, right? Low percentage play. Just look what your Echo is doing, right? Right here, our Echo, she's vibing, right? She ults the Doomfist. Now that's something we can capitalize on. There's a Doomfist jumping the enemy Ana. It's the dive tank you always wished for. Imagine if we would have followed her on that Ana. But instead, we're anti-naded, drawing the attention of our Mercy, right? Clogging up all of the healing resources. I think our Baptiste needs to Immortality Field us. Or I guess he needs to Immortality Field the Roadhog, right? But the point is, look at this Doomfist. This budget Doomfist. Imagine if he had someone that could help him close out this kill. Did you see how long that took?
Yeah, I could have been there. We could have got that out and then just jumped to someone else.
Exactly. She had to get that kill all by herself, and she almost died. When we could have played, right? Monkey together strong. See, and now this is kind of an awkward situation, because normally, right, when we get a pick on the enemy support, how should the rest of the team fight look?
We should be going for the cleanup, just like pushing forward, W key.
Right. So right here, we got the pick on the Ana. So now it's a 5v4. Right? So when it's a 5v4, should we use a bunch of ultimates? Should the fight drag on forever?
Nope, it should end. There should be a cleanup phase.
Right. Like, when it's a 5v4, it should be over, you know? But look what happens here. You guys get the pick, but look what happens. Both your supports feel like they need to ult in a 5v4. And obviously there's an argument to be made that they need to buy coaching because they're bad. But there's also an argument to be made that the fight just wasn't decisive enough. They were worried. The Baptiste had to use Immortality Field. The Roadhog almost died. right?
Yeah.
But when we play together around the people on our team that can provide us with opportunities, and again, I know this game in particular is pretty challenging because you only have the Echo to work with. In a full dive comp, you also have a main tank you can play around. That makes stuff so much easier because there's always stuff you can follow up on. Whereas with the Echo, it's easier. You only have to track one person, but there's also only one person that can provide you with those opportunities. But when those opportunities happen, we have to play around them. Because now, even when we capture the point, if the enemy team is smart, they can still recontest. Right? There's like 20% left. And look how scrappy this is. Your Baptiste died. Your guys, like, now you're on the Mercy with the Echo, which is good. But, yeah. Look at the top right. You guys don't really have a lot to work with. And then right here... looks like a low percentage play to me. Do you know if she has any cooldowns available?
Nope. I saw her and just went right in.
And then you get naded.
And then punched.
And punched. Because you didn't know where they were, you didn't know what cooldowns were up, and you die. The enemy Mercy is dead. It's won, but you feel the need to force a big hero play when we really don't have to. Okay. Okay, and then now your team is just man, your Echo was trying so hard.
Yeah, I know. The Echo got a lot of kills, and we lost.
Well, that was quite a lot of talking. We're almost at the end, so this is your time to ask any final questions before our next session.
So, what would be like, I don't know, what's a good mindset to have when going into comp? Because when I go in there, now I got a good idea of what I need to do, but like before I didn't. And me just losing and then like doing bad on the leaderboard and then getting flamed over and over and over again for like all these games in a row, it's just like, it makes me want to just fucking throw my PC out the window and say fuck this game. Like, how do I deal with that?
Do you love the game?
I love Genji. I love Genji.
Yeah, but I mean, you play Genji all the time, so...
The game...
Right?
Well, he's in the game, so yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, sometimes you get into, things get a little bit... It's like a real relationship. Like, sometimes you get into a fight, Sometimes she spends the weekend at her mom's house because she doesn't want to talk to you, But, like, if you love the game, or your SO in this case, right? Like, that should kind of be the more important thing. Like, if you really love playing Genji, then that should be enough to kind of wash away all of the other negative experiences that they are. Because the game is going to throw shit at you. Like, people are going to be toxic, and they're going to flame you, and they're going to look for scapegoats all the time, right? But none of that really matters, because, like, in the end, like, you get to play Genji.
Yeah.
Imagine you had to, like, some countries have, like, mandatory military duty, right? Imagine you got drafted and you need to spend a year in boot camp and you couldn't play any Genji. During that moment, would you think to yourself, oh, this is good, I got constantly flamed by people, now I don't have to deal with it? Like, no. You're going to think, man, I really love Genji, I'm going to miss playing Genji during this year. Like, again, morbid analogy. If you had a fight with your girlfriend, and then the next day you get a call that she's in a hospital, you're not going to be like, haha, you're in the hospital, I hate you now because we had a fight. you know? And sometimes it's important to kind of remind yourself of like why you're playing this game, why you're playing Genji, and all of these smaller nuisances, like people being toxic in voice chat, like whatever, you know. In the grand scheme of things, it just doesn't really matter that much because things could be worse. You get to play the character that you love. You get to judge your own gameplay. Nobody else gets to judge your gameplay except you and I, with permission. And if random people who one trick mercy try to explain to you how you should play Genji, like you can keck at them, you know, but it shouldn't ruin your day, and it shouldn't outweigh the enjoyment you get out of playing Genji.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I do, like, sometimes it'll happen, and then I do keep playing him. And I guess now that you said that, it does make sense. It's not like I just stopped after that happened. I did keep playing.
Whenever something happens that makes you mad, just ask yourself, does this make me so mad that I want to quit the game? And if the answer to that is no, then you know, I guess this isn't really that bad. You know? Like sometimes stuff happens that makes you want to quit the game. Maybe Blizzard releases a patch that completely butchers Genji and completely kills your enjoyment of Genji, right? That's like the serious stuff, you know? You can get mad at that, right? But everything else is like, you know, a little bit annoying, but whatever, we'll get over it. Okay, well, it is midnight here, so if you don't...
Oh, wow.
It is, yes. You're East Coast. I'm 6 hours ahead of you.
Jeez. You tired, man?
Yes, I am tired. But it's okay. You have a good microphone, so it's not as like mentally straining. Like sometimes people have like really shit mics, and like all of my cognitive resources go into deciphering what
they're saying.
What they're saying. Yeah, you know. Like the worst is like sometimes when people are like from Asian countries and they're having their session like in like especially in Korea, a lot of people use like cyber cafes, you know, like gaming cafes. Those have like really shitty
coaching?
Yeah, because like it's cheaper to like go to a gaming cafe than to like buy a computer and pay the energy bill and the internet bill and whatnot, right? And then they have these like shitty Logitech wireless gaming headsets, and no offense, but they have like a pretty thick accent, and they have like package loss because it's from the other end of the world. And I'm like, man, you know, I actually started learning Chinese because I figured that if at least there wasn't a language barrier, it would be easier. But there you go. See, these are the real struggles. Random people flaming you in solo queue aren't that bad. Trust me.
Yeah. Definitely pointed out to me now.
All a matter of perspective. But okay, I'm gonna bail on you. Again, you have 60 minutes left to schedule. I'm quickly gonna give you the link for that.
So I just go reschedule my 30-minute, and then after that 30-minute, I reschedule the other 30-minute?
Exactly. I gave you the link. You just schedule a 30-minute follow-up. I'll talk to you then. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right, you too, man. See you later.
Ya.